What would you do if your phone showed you a picture of yourself sleeping, and you knew, without a doubt, you never took it? That is exactly how this story begins. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. At 2:14 in the morning, Jenny Carter, 28 years old, stood barefoot on the cold tile floor of her kitchen, staring at her phone like it had just spoken to her. The apartment was silent. Too silent. The refrigerator hummed softly in the background, and somewhere outside, a car passed on the street below, but inside her place, everything felt frozen. Her breathing, her thoughts, even the air. On her screen was a photo, a clear one. Jenny asleep in her bed, tangled in a gray blanket, one arm under the pillow, hair half covering her face. It looked ordinary for half a second. Then the truth hit her. The angle was wrong. It wasn't taken from her nightstand. It wasn't a selfie. It wasn't some accidental camera trigger from her phone. It was taken from above her, from inside the room, by someone standing over her while she slept. And here's the part that made it worse. The image had synced into her private cloud account. No unknown text, no creepy anonymous message, no dramatic threat, just one quiet upload sitting there like it belonged. Jenny didn't scream. She didn't move. She just stared, her thumb hovering over the screen, her pulse climbing so fast it made her feel sick. Because deep down, before she even opened the photo details, before she checked the timestamp, before she looked for logic, she already knew one thing. Someone had been inside her apartment. Jenny was not reckless. That mattered. She lived alone, yes, but she was careful. She locked her doors. She checked her windows. She kept a stable routine. Freelance graphic designer, work from home, grocery run on Tuesdays, laundry on Sundays, takeout on nights when deadlines crushed her. Quiet life, predictable life, safe life. Or at least that was what she thought. But once that photo cracked the surface, all the little things she had ignored started flooding back at once. A kitchen cabinet left slightly open when she swore she had closed it. Her laptop moved a few inches across the desk. The faint scent of someone else's cologne in the hallway near her bedroom. A mug in the sink she didn't remember using. Tiny things, dismissible things, the kind of details you explain away when you're tired, overworked, and living alone too long. Have you ever done that? Have you ever felt something was wrong, then talked yourself out of your own instincts because the truth felt too extreme? Jenny had. And now she was scrolling, because there wasn't just one photo. There were dozens. Some of them showed her sleeping. Some showed her working at her desk through the living room window. One showed her unlocking her front door from the inside angle of her own apartment. The timestamps stretched back days, maybe weeks. Every image peeled away another layer of safety she didn't even realize she was depending on. Then she reached the most recent one. Her stomach dropped. It had been taken only 9 minutes earlier. Jenny slowly lifted her eyes from the screen and looked toward the dark hallway leading to her bedroom. Because if the photo was recent, then whoever took it might not be far away at all. Introduction finished. What if the danger isn't outside your home, but already inside it? Jenny didn't call the police. Not yet. Instead, she stood there in her kitchen, forcing herself to breathe slower, deeper, quieter. Panic would make this worse. Panic would make her sloppy. And right now, she needed control more than anything. There's a logical explanation, she whispered to herself. A hack. That had to be it. Someone got into her cloud storage, pulled images, manipulated something. It made sense, at least it almost did. Because how do you explain the angles, the timing, the perspective from inside her apartment? Still, believing it was digital felt safer than believing someone had been physically standing over her while she slept. So Jenny did what she always did. She tried to think her way through it. She started retracing everything. The past week replayed in fragments. Small details that once felt meaningless now sharpened into something else. The shower that was slightly warm before she turned it on. The closet door she always kept shut, left just an inch open. The faint scrape she heard one night but blamed on the building settling. And then there was Marcus. Marcus Hale, 34, the neighbor across the hall. Friendly, too friendly. He had this habit of showing up at just the right or wrong moments, holding the elevator for her, asking casual questions, smiling just a little too long. At first it felt harmless, maybe even comforting. It's nice to have someone familiar nearby when you live alone. But now his words echoed differently. Late night again, he had said 2 days ago. She hadn't told anyone she was working late. You should try cooking more. Smells better than takeout. She hadn't seen him that evening. At the time, she laughed it off. Coincidences, shared walls, thin floors, normal things. Now those same comments felt like fingerprints. Jenny grabbed her phone and called Lena Brooks, her closest friend. 31, sharp, practical, the kind of person who didn't jump to conclusions but didn't ignore red flags either. At first, Lena was skeptical. Jen, it could still be a tech issue, she said. Cloud breaches happen. Then explain the angles, Jenny shot back, pacing now. Explain how someone got a picture from inside my bedroom. Silence. That was the moment Lena shifted. Okay, Lena said slowly. Show me everything. An hour later, Lena was sitting on Jenny's couch, scrolling through the photos with a tight expression. No jokes, no dismissals now, just focus. These aren't random, Lena murmured. They're intentional. Someone is tracking you. The word hung heavy in the air. Tracking. Not watching once. Not breaking in once. Repeated behavior. Planned behavior. Jenny felt it sink deeper into her chest. They started checking the apartment together. Locks, windows, every corner. Everything looked intact. No forced entry, no broken seals, until Jenny noticed something near her bedroom door. Wait, she said. She crouched down, running her fingers lightly along the lock. There it was. A faint scratch, thin, precise, not random damage, something made by pressure, by tools. Lena saw it too. That's not normal, she said quietly. A knock at the door made both of them jump. Jenny froze. Another knock, casual, rhythmic. Hey, Jenny, it's Marcus. Her blood ran cold. Lena's eyes flicked toward her. Don't open it, they seemed to say, but Jenny moved anyway, slowly, carefully, and opened the door just a few inches. Marcus stood there, relaxed as ever, holding a small package. Hey, he smiled. This got delivered to my place by mistake. His tone was easy, normal, but his eyes weren't focused on her face. They drifted past her, into the apartment, taking it in. You okay? He asked. Jenny forced a smile. Yeah, just tired. Late nights, huh? He said again, almost amused. There it was, that same line. She took the package quickly. Thanks. For a split second, Marcus didn't move, like he was waiting, watching, memorizing. Then he stepped back. Get some rest, he said softly. Jenny shut the door immediately, locking it, her hand trembling slightly now. Lena exhaled. You see it too, right? Jenny didn't answer, because she already knew. That night, Jenny made a decision. No more guessing, no more dismissing. She set up her phone on a stand facing her bedroom door and hit record before going to sleep. If someone came in, this time she would see it. Morning came too fast. Her hands were shaking as she opened the video. For a while, nothing happened. Just her sleeping. Still. Quiet. Then, at exactly 3:07 a.m., the doorknob moved, slowly, deliberately, and the door began to open. The door opens. And then the footage breaks. Right at the moment you expect to see everything, who it is, what they look like, how they move, the screen glitches. Static flickers, frames skip, and then suddenly, nothing. Just Jenny asleep again, like nothing ever happened. Ask yourself this, how does a random hacker control that level of timing? Jenny replayed the clip over and over, her finger dragging the timeline back to 3:07 a.m., every single time the same thing. The door creaks open. Distortion. Silence. It's being cut, Lena said, her voice tight now. This isn't a glitch. Someone is removing that part. That was the moment the fear changed shape. This wasn't distant anymore. This wasn't just someone accessing files. Someone was actively controlling what she could see. And that meant one thing. Whoever was doing this wasn't just watching her. They were staying ahead of her. Jenny's chest felt tight, but something else pushed through the fear. Anger. She wasn't going to sit and wait anymore. That same day, she escalated. Hidden cameras, real ones this time, not just her phone. One in the living room, one angled toward the hallway, one discreetly placed in her bedroom. She changed her locks, triple-checked every window, closed every blind, and then she did something risky. She staged a lie. That afternoon, Jenny grabbed her bag, walked out of her apartment, locked the door loudly, and left. Or at least, that's what it looked like. In reality, she waited exactly 3 minutes. Then quietly unlocked the door again and slipped back inside, careful, silent, her heart pounding so loudly she was sure it would give her away. The apartment felt different. Not empty, occupied, still. She didn't call out, didn't make a sound. Then she heard it. A soft shift. From the direction of her bedroom. Not loud, not clumsy, controlled, like someone who had done this before. Jenny's breathing slowed as she stepped forward, each movement deliberate. The hallway stretched longer than usual, every shadow deeper, every inch heavier. The bedroom door was slightly open, just enough. Her hand hovered on the edge of it. This was it. No more guessing, no more doubt. In one motion, she pushed the door open, and there he was. Marcus, standing inside her room, waiting. He doesn't run. He doesn't panic. He smiles. For a second, nothing makes sense. Jenny stands frozen in the doorway, her hand still gripping the edge of the door, her body refusing to move forward or back. Marcus Hale is inside her bedroom, her private space, standing near her dresser like he's been there 100 times before. Like he belongs there. "You weren't supposed to come back yet," he says calmly. Not defensive, not surprised, just mildly inconvenienced. That's what makes it worse. Jenny's voice finally breaks through, tight and shaking. "What are you doing in my apartment?" Marcus tilts his head slightly, studying her like she's the one out of place. "You're asking that now?" The question lands wrong, twisted, like there's a version of reality where this is normal. Jenny takes a step back, her pulse hammering. "How did you get in?" He exhales, almost amused. "You made it easy." And then, piece by piece, he starts talking. Not everything at once, just enough to pull her deeper in. He tells her about the spare key she hid outside months ago, tucked behind the loose panel near the stairwell. He saw her use it once. That was all it took. A curiosity, he calls it. Just curiosity at first, watching her routines, learning her schedule, noticing patterns. "It wasn't supposed to go this far," he adds, though there's no regret in his voice. Jenny's stomach turns. "The photos," she says. "You took them." Marcus hesitates, just for a second. Then he shakes his head. "Not all of them." That's when the air in the room shifts again, because suddenly this isn't just about him. Jenny feels it before he even explains it. The scale of it, the part she's still missing. "There's another way into these apartments," Marcus continues, his tone quieter now. "Maintenance access, behind the walls, vents, crawl spaces." Jenny's mind races, trying to catch up. "No," she whispers. "Yes," he says. "And I wasn't the first one using it." That's when the name comes out. Darren Cole. Babe 42, building maintenance supervisor, the man with master access, the man everyone trusted, the one who fixed leaks, replaced locks, checked wiring, who had a reason to be inside every unit. "He set it up," Marcus says. "Small cameras, easy to hide, smoke detectors, vents, places you'd never check." Jenny feels sick. "The cloud," she says. "My account." "He tapped into devices," Marcus replies. "Mirrored feeds, uploaded them. I found it by accident." "Then why didn't you report it?" Jenny snaps, her voice rising now. Marcus finally looks at her fully, and this time there's something colder in his expression. Because I was already watching. Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. I just used what he built, Marcus continues, made it more efficient. The glitches. The missing footage. That was Darren, Marcus adds. Fail-safes. If anything got too close to exposing him, he wiped it remotely. Everything clicks into place. The photos, the timing, the control. Jenny isn't just being watched. She's been part of something much larger. And then, sirens. Distant at first, then closer. Marcus's expression shifts. Not fear, not exactly, but irritation. This wasn't part of his plan. Jenny realizes it instantly. Lena. She must have called when Jenny stopped responding. Footsteps echo in the hallway outside. A loud knock. Police, open the door! Marcus doesn't move. Jenny doesn't either. Because in that moment, standing just feet apart, both of them understand the same thing. This is about to explode far beyond this room. The door bursts open. Police flood the apartment, voices sharp, controlled, overwhelming. Jenny stumbles back as officers move past her, weapons drawn, commands echoing off the walls. Marcus doesn't resist, not immediately. He just raises his hands slowly, that same unsettling calm still clinging to him until they force him to the ground and cuff him. And just like that, it's over. Or at least the part Jenny could see, because the truth, the full truth, unfolds over the next several days. Investigators tear through the building, not just Jenny's unit, all of them, and what they find confirms everything Marcus said, and more. Darren Cole had been installing micro cameras for months, inside vents, inside smoke detectors, inside light fixtures, hidden in places no tenant would reasonably think to check. He wasn't just watching Jenny. He had access to multiple apartments, multiple lives, all feeding into a private system he controlled. When Marcus discovered it, he didn't expose it. He exploited it, used Darren's system to watch Jenny more closely, and eventually to enter her apartment himself. The glitches in Jenny's footage? Darren had built in remote overrides, fail-safes to corrupt or erase recordings if anything risked exposing the system. Every question Jenny had, the photos, the timing, the access, the missing footage, finally had a clear, undeniable answer. Emotionally, it hits her all at once. Not fear, not anymore. Something heavier, violation. Jenny sits in a police station interview room, hands wrapped tightly around a paper cup of water, listening as detectives explain how long it had been happening. Weeks, possibly longer. Her routines, her private moments, her sense of safety, all quietly observed. I recorded, controlled. Lena sits beside her, steady, present, not saying much but not leaving either. That matters more than anything. The consequences ripple outward fast. Darren Cole is arrested and charged with multiple counts of unlawful surveillance, invasion of privacy, and digital exploitation. Evidence recovered from his equipment links him to several victims in the building. Marcus faces his own charges: breaking and entering, Nezakon surveillance participation, evidence tampering. His calm demeanor doesn't hold up under interrogation. Once separated from Darren's system, once the evidence stacks against him, the control he carried so easily begins to fracture. The apartment complex itself is pulled into legal chaos. Tenants are notified. Some leave immediately. Others demand accountability. Lawsuits begin forming within days. And Jenny? She leaves. Not dramatically, not in a rush, but completely. A few weeks later, she stands in a new apartment, smaller, brighter, different in ways that feel intentional. There are no shared vents connecting units, no easy access points, no overlooked details. This time, everything is chosen carefully. New locks, new routines, new boundaries. That first night, she lies in bed, staring at the ceiling, her phone resting on the nightstand beside her. The room is quiet again, but it's a different kind of quiet now. Earned. Her screen lights up briefly, a notification. Jenny turns her head, her body tensing for just a fraction of a second, an echo of what used to be. Then she reaches over and checks it. Nothing unusual, no photos, no hidden uploads, no one watching. She sets the phone back down, exhales slowly, and closes her eyes. And this time, she sleeps.